Hi all, back with more Red Storm, Dark Blue Defection, still scenario 5, Dark Blue Defection. This is my part 21, we're on turn 7. Just looking about what's happened, a few flights moved. Yeah, this cube is to represent the flight that's, I want to say it's Wolf, is it? That's in beside Mother, he's moved. Fortunately we got away with things there, I think, didn't we? Yeah, well, yeah, it mustn't have happened. I think the engagement mustn't have went ahead. Um, where are we? Right, yeah. There's a few comments, but I don't have an awful lot of time, and I'd like to get a part in here, so I might just skip on by through these and talk about them. Talk about them later. That might not happen. Then I might just talk about them now. John, of course, still catching up a little. This is back in part 11. Um, Yeah, he mentions one thing about the automatic small arms barrage when at deck is that it technically happens at the end of the movement phase. Yeah, and funny enough, I had a feeling John would bring this up. I didn't really speak about it, but I did read about it recently, and I think it must have just slipped my mind about talking about it. So it does say that. It says that it happens at the end, and I had read it myself just recently. Um, at the end of any movement phase. That happens. So his point there is this means that as long as you don't end the turn starting an IP, you don't ever get that negative modifier. There's still plenty of other ways you get AA mods, but as long as you plan carefully, you can avoid the possible -1 there. Well, we've seen that I don't think he's quite got to the bit where I talked about at the top of the turn and the IP. I want to say that's maybe part 12 or 13 maybe, although I think he does comment on part 12 as well. Anyway, yeah, I realised that one, but admittedly, it did sort of trigger with something. The fact that it happens at the end of the movement phase, and in actual fact, I think I fired a small arms attack when Mother gets hit. I fired a small arms attack first. Well, that shouldn't have been the case, because it happens at the end of the movement phase, where the rest would actually trigger, before that. Hang on, Grant. Yeah, that's right. Automatic small arms, AA at deck, because that's the one that hit her, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't think it mattered, but in actual fact, I should have done them in a different order. Anyway, that's fine. Uh, the 1 hour, 11 minute and 15 second mark, it says that negative for visual bombing at night is rough. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's which one? What one is that? Is it a -3? No, it's a -4, I think, isn't it? I'm looking on the wrong playroom. Sorry, I've not looked at the link. I was just trying to get this over quick so I can get a wee bit of time in here. Yeah, -4 level profile at night. Yeah, well, yeah, we noticed that. We eventually realised that. And his final comment at hour 15 minute and 55 second. The wording 18.22 is that it's suppressed for the turn. This is talking about the suppressions on the AAs when we do it. It gains the suppression and the rolled number of turns. So at the end of the current turn number plus roll, the radar suppress switches to a radar shutdown. The radar A or SAM can attempt to roll to remove the radar shutdown. So in this case, I believe you are on turn 4, so that 2K22 is suppressed until later, as you say later. Suppressed until turn 7, as you say later. Yeah, I've got that one all down. I guess maybe the bit that I'm still a little unsure about, although I'm going to have to make that decision next turn, is this is on a 1 now, this radar suppression. My intention is at the end of this turn to remove that and immediately take the suppression off, put the shutdown, switch over to radar shutdown, and I'm immediately going to try and roll for to switch the radar back on. At first, when I looked at that, I kind of thought we would just remove that, turn that over to radar shutdown, and then not try and switch it on that turn. But I don't think that's right, and I think we came across that in a previous scenario. But I'm still not 100% sure of that one. But we'll do it in that way anyway. Okay, so that was on part 11, so give me a sec. Okay, a couple of comments on part 12 that John picked up. At the 36-minute 5-second mark, I think I commented before, but I still think there's a lack of detected in the block flight activation order instructions is intentional because of cases like this. Yeah, to be honest, John, I probably should have put some notes in the header, but because you're so far behind, I have addressed this situation, but now I'm talking in part 21 here about it. So you're clearly going to think that I've not got the message for that. But I do. I have taken on board what you said. I think I want to say I replied to that comment of yours, but maybe I haven't. Anyway, I suppose there's no harm in him having his comment in there so that people watching back can check that comment and say, right, you know. Now this one is interesting. Okay, I'll just read the well, the last wee comment is, we were glad you discovered how to get Markov there by climbing as the first move. Yeah, I was impressed with myself with that one, wasn't I? I seem to remember being all a bit chuffed with myself, the fact that I had realised that I could climb. He had a max turn marker on him, didn't he? So I couldn't turn. However, I realised I wanted to climb altitude anyway, so I climbed in the same hex before I'd done anything, and then done my turn. Yeah, I think that was the moment anyway. I was quite chuffed about it anyway. So, right, so this one, now check it, 11.24. I didn't look at this yet, but this is going to explain some of my head scratching, I think. Let's just read his comment. He says, check out 11.24 for what the different engagement results mean for altitude. If the attacker gets a yes, the combat occurs at the defender's altitude. If the attacker gets no, but the defender gets yes, it occurs at the attacker's altitude. And if the defender was below the attacker, the defender is considered to have zoom climbed. So this was this bit about them saying they zoom climbed. I was all confused. And obviously, if both get no, both flights continue at their respective altitudes. So I have no knowledge of this whatsoever because I've clearly not read this properly. So yeah, it's right there in 11.24. Engagement results for standard air combat. Let me see, maybe we can put this on camera because I think, well, I feel it's important, maybe not to use folk that know all about it, but it's important to me because I've not known what this. There's that flicker again. I don't know if you've seen that or not. No, I think it's sometimes when you put it, maybe it's late at night when you put it against white paper. I had this before with something. Looking at rule books. Anyway, right, 11.24. So if the attacker's engagement attempt succeeds but the defender's does not, combat commences. Yeah, the attacker has surprise and the defender's disadvantage. Basically, it's the same as, yeah, it's right there. Basically, what I've done is just looked at this. And it's 11.24, but obviously this is compressed version of what happens. You know, you'll see there's no talk there about what altitude or what, you know, whereas in here there's much more detail. But obviously this 60-page rulebook cannot fit on 5 play raid cards, which is understandable. So sometimes you have to look in the rulebook, Grant. So yeah, so the attacker has surprise and the defender has disadvantage. Move the attacking flight to the defender's altitude band. So in that case, the attacker would move to the defender's altitude band, and everything would be fine. Nothing else would change. Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up, John. I wasn't even considering this. So B, if both the attackers and defenders' engagement attempts succeed, combat commences, but there is no surprise or disadvantage, move the attacking flight to the defender's altitude band. So same again there. C, if both the attacker and defender's engagement attempts fail, no combat takes place, do not resolve combat or post-combat effects, and the attacker continues its movement. And then D, this must be the one that's different then. If the defender's engagement attempt succeeds, but the attacker does not. The defender can choose to commence combat. Note that the defender cannot choose to commence combat if it has no air-to-air weapons, is disordered, aborted, and or marked with a maneuver marker or participated in air-to-air combat, except BVR combat, earlier in that movement phase. If combat begins, move the defending flight to the attacker's altitude band. If the attacker is higher, the defender is considered to have zoom climbed. There is no surprise or disadvantage. If the defender does not begin combat, treat as result C above, no combat takes place. Well, there you go. So that's the reason why they can have been considered the zoom climb, which I was scratching my head for a while trying to work that one out. How can they be pushed to that altitude when it's the attacker that comes in and he moves to the altitude? Well, there you go. There is that time when it's maybe not going to happen. So excellent. Well, thanks for bringing that one up, John, because I would not have noticed that, and yet it's right there in the rules. Okay, and finally, I think there might be some other comments out there that I've maybe not got yet, but from Howard, this was in part 15. He says all that, and this is regarding Mother's entrance into the extraction hex and how she got on. He says, all that AAA and SAM fire and an AK-47 takes down the chopper because it was the small arms fire that did the damage. The SAM didn't do anything, and the 2K22, the inherent 2K22 didn't do anything. He does, however, say, I hope Mother gets out alive, otherwise it's all over for this one. Could be your first loss here, Grant. Not bad at 5 scenarios and nail-biting stuff. Yeah, I do feel we're going to have to be really lucky to get out of there, because this radar is going to switch back on as well before we're even out of there. Oh, and that, yeah, sorry, I'll get there. But he did say not bad at 5 scenarios in, but this is not my first loss, because we didn't actually manage to win the first scenario. I think that was me trying to learn the game, and I realised that, to be honest, if I'd ran the scenario again, I would have been comfortably able to succeed. Again, there's dice rolls that could sort of say, no, you're not succeeding this time. Because this game does have a lot of dice rolling. I think it's good fun, no dice rolling. I know some people don't like too much dice rolling, think it's a bit random and whatever, but yeah, I think it's needed in this game, and I think it works well. Okay, so yeah, thanks for your comment, Howard. And yeah, just sticking with Howard. I had to go and repost my question, so I'm assuming Howard just didn't see this, because I did post it in the DBD page on BGG first, Howard. So you must have missed that one, but because I was talking about Mother. What does she do when she? Well, we're just going to maybe get to that shortly. She's at deck level just now, and she's wanting to land. So she's moving from deck to the ground. And I wasn't sure if that would trigger any SAM fire or AA fire, the fact that she's at that lower level. And also when she climbs again, when she takes off again from the deck, from land, from the ground to deck level, is she susceptible again to the fire? Like I say, I posted it originally there. I didn't get an answer, and I knew I was about ready to. The time comes where I'm going to have to find out for sure. So I posted it again on the main page, and it was Howard that picked it up, and I worded it differently, just asking about helicopters in general. And he said yes. That's how he's always played it. Sorry, I can't remember the full answer. I've not got it here. But basically he said yes. So when we make this next move with Mother to move from deck to the ground, we're going to have to take an SA13 check, we're going to have to take a small arms check, and we're going to have to take an inherent 2K22. Then we're going to have to do the same when we take off again. And by that time, this could well be switched on. It's just Yeah, we're going to have to be really lucky to get away with this one. And the way things have went, I mean, we have one aircraft. Well, we've got one aircraft shot down, which is Mother. Remember, they get 4 points for each aircraft of ours shot down. And if we fail this mission, my guess is that Mother's going to be completely destroyed. So that's going to be 8 points for them. And just what she's going to have to achieve, or yeah, I'm not hopeful here. I'm not hopeful, but you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind losing. Not a problem. If I'm enjoying myself, that's fine. Right, let me charge this and let's get, that's 15 minutes. Okay, let's get a bit of gameplay. Right, well, I don't know where I am. I've not left a marker out there. I want to say it might be, oh, wait now. Did they only have 3 flights to move? Because the flight under there, which I think is Wolf. Yeah, and I put him down the bottom. And like I said, that was what the wee blue cube on the card was to represent. And there's Klein there, and there's, yeah, they have all moved. Yeah, because I think they got a 3. They got the 3 initiative. So it's just about moving out the rest of our flights. Now we have Dodge 108. Oh, what was the mistake? Yeah. Yeah, hang on, where's my phone? Yeah, there was two new mistakes I picked up. This was from part 14. Yeah. And it was so stupid as well. I want to say it was Mechlin, or it was Mechlin, or what one's that? See, I'm having to look. These blue cubes aren't the best for this game. That was a thing I forgot. I was going to go and look for. I think it was Hal had mentioned it. How I had mentioned before about maybe trying to find some sort of see-through discs that were slightly coloured that I could maybe just cover over them. Because it covers up too much of the information there. Well, at the 44-minute 50-second mark, I put this in the header of the video, part 14. Dodge is undetected. So it was 108 flight and Dodge flight. They were both sitting there. Dodge had just become undetected because he'd just been attacked in air-to-air combat, and I'm assuming he must have been finished. Don't tell me I've done that again as well. I want to go and have a look at that. Yeah, it's fine. I'd started to think I'd maybe put a blue cube to finish Dodge, like I'd done that last time when they both went into air-to-air, but that's not the case. Yeah, it was Mechlin. Is it Mechlin? So Mechlin had moved in, combated Dodge in air-to-air. They both become undetected at the end of it. I then move Wolf Flight, I think it was, the one that's way up there. And it's between Dodge and the 108 flight, but it shouldn't be because Dodge is undetected. And I think I roll randomly between the two because they're the same distance away. And unfortunately, it lands on Dodge. I move in behind Dodge, and because Dodge is at high altitude at the time, I can't quite engage them. That's what I was going to do. I was going to have a dice roll to see if it could be engaged. But what is the point in that, Grant? No, you can't do that, Grant. Because if the dice roll comes up with an engagement success, what Wolf should have been engaged in 108 flight at that time. But you're talking that long ago, I can't fix that. I can't. No, I can't. I was going to have a die roll to see if he would have engaged them, but what if it comes up that he would have? How can I can't deal with that. A Wolf's away up there now. So I'm going to just have to let that one go. Yep. Yeah. It's just that 108 was sitting at medium altitude and he would have been able to engage them. Because he was struggling he had to move quite a few hexes, and because Dodge was at high, he couldn't climb enough to get him, but he could have climbed enough to reach 108 flight. Yeah, there's nothing I can really do. Yeah, I had thought about rolling a dice, but like I say, no, I'm just gonna have to let that go. So he moved adjacent. Yeah, it's annoying because it wasn't just he moved adjacent to the wrong flight. He would have actually been able to engage that at the time. Damn. No, well, not a lot I can do. Just point out to everybody. Yeah, and the whole thing was that these blue cubes, you know, see that flight right there. Do I know if that's detected or not? And no, until I need to go with that, and then I say, right, okay, it's undetected, but I'll need to keep a better eye, you know. Whereas if I had sort of clear discs that were maybe showing what was underneath, but that was a poor excuse really, because they had just been in air-to-air combat, the two flights, so I should have known that they were undetected. But anyway. Right, and then this is from part 15. And again, clumsy. Again, I put a comment in the header about this. This is when Slam flight. Sorry. No, it's not Slam. Is it? I can't remember who it was now. Is it Chevy? Right, I don't know. I'm not going to look. Hang on. Yeah, as regarding Slam flight, glasses. And it's when he moved out of the hex. It's the 2K22 inherent fire that catches him. So it's when he moves from here into that hex there, I think. He takes the 2K22 inherent roll because he was still at low altitude at that time. He's since moved up to high altitude. Now he was a bottom. However, we took the roll and we took the roll on the table, and we got a hat. Can't remember what it was, 15 or something like that. We needed 13 or greater to hat. We then counted up. We're obviously then rolling on this column. Yeah, that's right. Rolling on that column. I might need to go back and look at the video actually to be doubly sure. So we're checking these modifiers, and I count them up right in the first place. Yeah. So he's got a jamming strength of 3. That doesn't apply. That doesn't apply. Yeah, he was moving at speed 5, which was nice. So he was getting a -2 for that. So he's got a -3, a -2 there. That's -5. And then that one at night gives another -1. So that's -6. That one doesn't apply. That one doesn't apply. So I count up -6. I then roll 16, right? Now look at the numbers. I roll 16 and say, oh, 16 -5. Is that going to get us there? I count -5 instead of -6. So I count 16 -5, so it's 11, and I get a damage result. And it should have been 16 -6, being 10, and a no effect. So he then rolled on the morale table, and there was no issues. However, he did get a damaged aircraft. Now I'm going to remove that, because that shouldn't be. Now that was only his last move anyway. It's not that things have passed. So Swam's aircraft number 4, it must have been, is not damaged. So I'm taking that away, because I need all the help I can get. But I mean, it was something. It was just me. I'm like screaming at my screen saying, no, Grant, it's -6, not -5. And no, I just didn't. It must just went right over my head. And well, yeah. Not that me screaming at the screen was going to do any good. But anyway. So yeah. another mistake there, which, well, we've been able to fix. Yeah, it's bugging me, that one, but I can't do nothing about it. Right, let's get some gameplay then. I'm up to 25 minutes now. Okay, well, let's see. I think we should be able to end this turn, though. Come on, Grant. Well, possibly end the game, because I'm going to move mother, aren't I? Well, no, she's only dropping to deck, isn't she? She's dropping to the ground. Now, I'm assuming... Well, actually, I never thought about that. What happens when she's on the ground? Well, surely she can't be attacked then, can she? Oh, I don't know. Well, I know you can do bombing runs to targets on the ground. I mean, it's air-to-air combat. Surely you can't. But then again, they've got guns that can strafe, can't they? Couldn't they? Like, you would think that if they've seen that helicopter on the ground, they could strafe it. That's just mean Wolves in that hex right now, but... Well, you know what? That might be another question I need to just throw out there. Well, hopefully that won't matter until tomorrow, because I can only get this one little part in anyway. Right, so we can finish the rest of our flights. Okay, let's get this moving. Right, dodge flight. Let's just move him first, because they've moved all their flights. Dodge is disordered. He's at high altitude, and he's the one that doesn't have the crippled aircraft. Now, remember, this is not any good to him. We were flying to the wrong orbit point. We need to fly it here, but it shouldn't be a problem. So he's got a speed of 4, or he could dash at 6. Actually, I think 4 is enough. So he stays at 4. 1 free 60-degree turn. 2, 3, 4. No, I'll not bother turning to finish, I don't think. So he's at high, and he's disordered, and he's going to be marked finished. Right, and then the 108 flight is the same. Well, he looks like he's closer after all that. But, of course, I think we realised with him sooner that we had to fly here. 1, 2, 3. Well, he's not quite reaching, is he? Because he can't dash. He's at medium altitude. He's still got a speed of 4. He's the one that's got the crippled aircraft, obviously. So 1, 2, 3, free turn, 4. I'll just put him in there. And that's him marked finished. And then, well, Dodge will get a roll this time. He'll get a roll with the +8. +8, +7, whatever it is. The aggression value is -3 though, so good luck with that, I suppose. So that's 2. So who have we got left? We've got Slam, the bombers, and Mother. So, well, Slam's aboard him, so he's wanting to head for this airfield as well, really. So let's just get him out of the way. He's got a max turn on him, and a high altitude. So he can go at speed 5, or he can dash at speed 7. Now remember, he's not got any bombs anymore, so he's fine. I think we go for the 7 then. So we go dash. We'll just put that on the card. And you can see he's got to turn first, and yeah, this time we don't get away with it because we're at high altitude. We cannot climb any higher. So 1 free 30-degree turn. The max turn marker comes away. Yeah, no, we don't want to go in this hex, Grant. Right, hang on, I might not be doing that then. Well, I've got to go straight ahead, so 1, I'm not sure I'm doing a 30-degree turn though. I think I might be spending a point. Can you see that all right? What did I say? I had a speed of 7, so I've got 6. I've got 6 left. I'm not sure if I'm doing a free turn here. Don't think I am. No, because I need. Well, hang on, Grant. You're at high altitude. You're at high altitude, and that's only light. They don't fire at high. That's fine. That's fine. We can fly over the top of all that. So free 30-degree turn, like I said, and then 2 free 30-degree turn. I've got 5 left, right? 1 free 30-degree turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was right, yeah? That was right. 1. Right, where did I start? I cheated there. So that's why you need to leave things behind, Grant. No, I want to see it. No, I was in here. 1 free 30-degree turn, 2 free 30-degree turn, 3 free 30-degree turn, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's right. So, oh, that dash must be for Vegas. That's what's confusing me. Because he's, oh no. Is it? Vegas has got a dash marker on him. What have I done here? Have I just forgot to take the dash marker off my bomber's last turn? Or did I just put that on there just now? Because Vegas has got a dash marker on his flight log sheet. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And I think I just put that dash marker up there, didn't I? Maybe I did have Vegas marked. Right. See, I should have marked where the flight was. Give me a second. Right, I just looked back in the last part of the video. There's a dash marker sitting beside Vegas. And yeah, I've put a dash marker on Vegas's thing. So I guess I must have just put 2 of them down and not quite realised that I'd put that up there. So that's what that was. So I think everything there was fine. So Slam's moved to there now. His stuff is still on his card. He was dashing. He's at high. He's aborting. He's done. Okay. Right. So now for the interesting part. Mother. Okay. Well, and yeah, and I'm gonna go and post a question to make. I don't know, just to make sure that helicopters on the ground. Sure, it would tell you about that. I know aircraft can get hit in airports on the ground, but I'm pretty sure it's just air to ground attacks. I don't think air to air or even guns. It's bound to be in there somewhere, Grant. Right. Well, it's not going to matter this turn, so hopefully. Right. So we're gonna land Mother. She's got to spend all her movement points, which is only 1 to land. Okay, but 3 things are going to happen. So she's got an SA-13 attack, an inherent 2K-22 attack, and a small arms attack. The small arms attack happens at the end of the movement phase. So I guess I should really roll for that last. I mean, to be honest, we've only got 1 movement point and it's all just happening in the one bit. So maybe I do resolve them in that order then. It'd be different if I had movement points left over, maybe. Yeah, I suppose. So we'll just do it in the same order then. Okay, well, this this could, to be honest, any of this could probably end our chances here, really. So let's do it in that order. We'll do the small arms first, and then we'll do a 2K22, and then we'll check the SAM out. Yeah, it was the small arms that got us the last time. So we need a 17 or greater for the small arms. So here we go. Right, not this time. We had a 7 this time. So on to the inherent 2K22. Right now we're at deck. We were at deck level, remember? So it's a 12 or greater this time. And that is 18. Well, I'm glad we never got that roll for the small arms. Right, so that is a hit. So for the 2K22, again, it's on this column. So what are we getting? Right, this is our helicopters. Right. Yeah, I don't know. What did they get? Did they get anything for their defensive jamming? I bet they don't. Where are we? Helicopters may be attacked in air-to-air combat. All helicopters in air-to-air combat. All helicopters have a maneuver rating of 2, an aggression value of 0. They have no weapons, RWR, or defensive jamming. So they have none of that. And their aggression is 0. Okay. Yeah, this could be bad. So it doesn't apply. Remember, we want a low roll here. So its speed is 1, so it's less than 2. So there's a +1 here. It is at night, so there's a -1 here. And that doesn't apply because the 2K22 attack is from range 0. So there's no modifiers at all. And we need to roll low here. Okay, so it's got to be a 10 or less. Oh, we're riding a luck. 7. Okay, we've got away with that. Okay, good. Now I told you we'd have to be really lucky to keep this all going, and we've got a lot more to come. So nothing doing there, and that's us had our inherent attack. So now we're on to the SAM. Let's play card 2, is it? Or 3? No, it's 2. Okay, so now on to the SAM attack. SC13 with the little card. So this was us at deck level, moving just to land. So we're not checking these. We'll come across to here at deck within range. So it's a +1 they get to start with. It's an infrared SAM attack, however, so that's a -1. So that takes us down to 0. This doesn't apply. Infrared SAM attack from forward hemisphere. Well, again, that point, I'm still pointing that way when I realised that I know it was a bit of a sneaky sort of, well, wait now, I'll just change my heading. But you could see that, you know, if I knew the game better, it makes far more sense that an infrared SAM attack, you want to keep it in your forward hemisphere so that you get the extra modifiers. So I think we've got a -1 then, haven't we? Because it was a +1 from that, and a -1 for that, and then a -1 for that. So we've got a -1, and this time we need 11 or less. Here we go. With a -1, 4. Yes. So no SAM. So we've got away with all this. So we've now landed. So now we need to know what happens. I think we want another dice roll here, don't we? And this is where we're going to, this is when the DBD side comes into it, I think. Let's see. Okay, so we're looking at step 7 there, or scenario special rules 7. When H-53 flight lands at target hex, which is what we've done now, roll 1d10, 4 to 10, a 4 to 10 Nikolai Krasnov is recovered. A 1 to 3 fighting around the extraction point ensues. Nikolai is not recovered. Roll again on each subsequent turn until recovered. Designate which helicopter in the flight recovers Nikolai. Well, it's going to be helicopter number 1 because helicopter number 2 is no longer here. Right, so if we want a 4 to 10 here, and I think this is really important. So out of 1 die, we want a 4 to 10. Okay, the odds are with us, but it's not to say anything. Right, here we go. Big roll, come on. Yes! 5. Woo. Okay, we're still there. We're still there. Right. Well, that's it. We are. Yeah, we're good to go. We've got Nikolai Krasnov on board, so we're now going to have to take off in the hex. We've got to take off and. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming taking off, we just get the 1 movement up to deck level again. I guess. I mean, hang on. Because it's different, the rules don't, helicopters may take off and landed helicopters do not move except to take off, while landed helicopter is treated as an unready flight. Yeah, but and its target profile D if attacked in the air-to-ground combat. Yeah, see, well, there you go, right there. So I don't think we can be touched by any air-to-air at the moment. I'm going to go with that, and hopefully I've got it right. I still don't think I'm going to get out of there anyway, to be honest. So I'll go with that, but let me know if for some reason, I mean, Wolf's right in that hex. So we kind of want Wolf to move before we do again, because we're just going to climb up to deck altitude next turn and then take all that grief again. And like I say, yeah, this might be switched on as well. Let's hope not. Well, I can only think that's what I've got to do. Next turn, I've got to spend my 1 movement point just to take off, and so I'll be in the same hex. And what I will do then is maybe turn. Well, actually, I'll probably not turn. I won't turn until the next time. I want to keep that in my front hemisphere, don't I? Okay, well that's all flights moved. We are still in the game, just. So I'll take the blue cubes away. Right, and then moving on to finish the turn. We had card 4. Right, so fuel phase. Right, well we know Vegas. I've got Vegas's. In fact, can I not put his marker out here? Yeah, I can. So he's up me jump. He did have a dash marker on him though, so he's spending a point of fuel for Vegas. And Slam, our bombers, they dashed. They got plenty of fuel though. Anybody else? No. Nobody else. Okay. Nobody needs to roll for recovery. White has left the map and needs to roll for recovery. No. Simulcation phase doesn't apply. Track phase. Nobody at deck. Any flights at low? No, so nothing to really. Actually, no, I take that back. Wolf flight, who went to deck level. He's in beside Mother. Oh, and Mecklin, who's the MiG-23, is at low. Right, well, actually. Yeah, it's at deck and low. This is the track table. Okay, so I'll roll for our flights first. So with the Warsaw Pact detection level of C. Rolling on the C column. If any flights become undetected. I've rolled a 9. On the C, we've got spades and curly brackets, so any spades that were at low altitude across the right side of the front, no. In fact, I think I can bring this down here just now as well. That's a abort marker. It's just, I don't really like having them on the cards for 2 reasons. Anyway, you know, when you're watching it, you maybe can't see them. But obviously when it gets cluttered, like I don't want to put mech on stuff. Well, I could. Yeah, I suppose I could just now. It's clear enough, isn't it? That Mekon's got these 2 on it and Klein's got these 2. I can't really put that one in because that's in beside the thing. Right, so there was nothing for us. So Warsaw Pact, let's say they've got a flight of low and a flight of deck, so they might get something like this. So on the D column for them, roll 10. That's hearts then. So hearts and curly brackets. So it's just who do we need to check? Mecklin, I think he is a heart. Ah, he's undetected anyway, Grant. This is to undetect, isn't it? Yeah. Right, what's... Oh, look at Wolf. Wolf's getting it, because he's at deck level. He's becoming undetected. That's not nice. I think I'll just put him on top now, because Mother's probably... Try and put it like that. So, well, we know Mother's in there. Yeah, he was at deck level. So, results in curly brackets applied to any flight on the deck, any flight at low on its own side of the front. Yeah, so the deck bit, it doesn't need to be on his side of the front, but he was on his side of the front. So yeah, I think that works. And yeah, that was the only ones, yeah. That's it. Right, moving on. So SAM acquisition, nothing. Right, admin phase, right? I think there's a couple of things going to happen here then. I forgot, the SAM did launch, didn't it? Right, flights, first of all, that SAM should have a SAM launch marker on it, shouldn't it? However, it's going to just come off now anyway, so I'll just leave it. Right, so flights roll for disorder recovery. So let's give their one a shot first. That's Klein. So he's disordered. What is it it gets? Where does it tell me? It tells me in the morale bit. That's it. That's the bit it tells me. So roll 2 dice, add aggression value, add +8 if in 1 hex and recovery on a final result. Yeah, so it's +8, but you've got your aggression value. So Klein's aggression value is -1, but with a +8, so he gets a +7, and he needs a 20. So this is the one we are hoping does not happen. 9 +7 is 16, so no, that's good. He's still going to just tick away there. And then for our one, dodge flight, unfortunately he's got a -3 to his aggression, but he is now beside an orbit point, which counts as a rally point. So +8 but -3, we've got a +5 only, and we need a 20. Oh, that's awful. Right, 4. Right, that's not going to cut. So that's all of that, and the 108 flight is not quite there yet. Not that he's as important, because he's got the crippled aircraft anyway. So. Right, that's all that. Split flights, no. Roll to remove, yeah, because before that roll to remove shutdown marker step, this is where I've decided that we're going to tick these down. So that one is going to come off. This one's going to go down to 4. And when that one comes off, like I say, this is my take on it. It's all going to happen at the same time. That then goes to radar shutdown. and we're going to have the chance to, well, he's going to have the chance to now roll to switch this back on. Roll to remove shutdown markers, 17.53. Yeah, we looked at this quite recently. I want to say it needs a 5 or greater. Units with a shutdown marker may not attack. They may attempt to remove the shutdown marker in the admin phase. Roll a die on a result of 5 or greater. Remove the marker. Otherwise, it remains in place. If the marker is removed, the radar may now be turned on. And they just automatically turn it on. There's not a sort of thing that tells you one way or the other. They'll just turn it on. Okay, so 1 die, a 5 or greater. It's going back on. Here we go. Oh, yes. It's not. Okay, so it stays shut down, but we'll get the chance to do that next turn. But however, that's one less grief we're going to get. Again, it might not matter, but however. So that was roll to remove shutdown markers. Apply, right. Remove SAM launch markers. Well, I didn't put it on, but I should have put it on. It should come off now. And then remove radar AA fire markers. Well, we had none of them. No. Zoom climb markers. I thought somebody maybe had zoom climb, but not seeing any of them. So no. I think that's us, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. That's it. So we're still hanging in there, but because we need to recover him. We're not. Yeah, I think we need the points. I mean, it's a huge 14 points. So I know we've shot down a few of their aircraft, but the thing is, we've got 4, and I think we're going to lose. You know, if we lose him, if we don't rescue him, the helicopter's going to be shot down. So we're going to have 8 points against us, and not 14 points for us. So we need that to happen. So next, if you think about it, next turn, we're going to have to take off, and we're going to take the 3 fires again, SAM, Inherent 2K22, and small arms. And then the next turn, we're going to move into this hex probably. And this might have switched back on. And then we're going to take the SAM again. This time it'll be a long range attack. Still going to take the 2K22. If we can get to low altitude as well. See, to get to low altitude, we're going to have to spend a point. So we're probably better taking our chances with the small arms, aren't we? Because at least that's the 17. Well, I say that, at least it's the 17, but like Howard pointed out, that's what took one of our helicopters down. But yeah. Okay, yeah, that's all I can really do tonight. I can't really squeeze any more in. Well, we'll miss one last thing. The dice needs to move up to turn 8. So turn 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's still 5 turns left. But don't know. I mean, a couple of questions. Well, I don't think I need to ask that question. I think while he's on the ground, I think he's safe. Unless they had some air to ground stuff, which is not. So I'm going to just go with that. But if I do have it wrong, please let me know. The other thing I might have to ask is, you know, when is he safe? Or do we have to just keep moving with him? Well, if you think about it, actually, we've got 5 more turns, I'm saying. 1 to take off, right? 2, 3, 4. Well, that would be us across the side of the front. We know that the hexes are on our side. So that would take us 4 turns to reach there. Well, just as well, we did pick him up there, or we would have only had 1 more chance to roll, and then there's no way we would have been able to do that. Okay. Right, okay, I'm going to get away for now. And, yeah, I might be back in a bit later tomorrow night though, so maybe not. But yeah, I'll get back when I can. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Okay, cheers.